So, you're not so keen on staying at the castle after all, then?
I'm staying there. I just wanted to talk to you.
Come to me for a bit of aid and advice, did you? Well, I've got none to give. Not till I got the day's troubles behind me and a crow's nest in front of me.
I don't blame you a bit. I also have no idea what you're talking about.
The mix maid suddenly took ill, leaving poor Seamus on his own, running back and forth, trying to mix and serve at the same time. I heard her soon as I walked in, yet here I sit, dying of thirst. I'll do no talking till I get me crow's nest, and there's the sorry truth of the matter. But now, were some spry and spunky lass to lend poor Seamus a hand by taking over the mixing for a while, that would surely speed the plough.
Sounds good to me. I'll see to it you get your crow's whatever, ASAP.
Gonna play mix maid for a while, are ya? Well, here's what you're to do. I'll take the orders and put the tickets up here. Each ticket will have no more than 2 drinks on it. And to save time, I draw little pictures instead of writing out their names. The mixin' book will tell you which little picture stands for what drink. It'll also tell you what's in each drink and how to make each drink. Now, to pour something, put the silver mixing glass under either the juice tap or the beer tap. Then, press whatever button the mixing book tells you to press. The book will also tell you how many times to press it. If the drink needs blending, you'll see a picture of a blender at the top of the column in the book. You're to put the solid ingredients into the blender first, then pour whatever's in the mixing glass into the blender. Then, press the red button. And when the blending's done, just reach under the counter and find the serving glass that's pictured in the book. Put the serving glass on the grey mat and pour everything from the blender into the serving glass. If the drink doesn't need blending, just find the right serving glass, put it on the grey mat, and pour everything you've poured into the mixing glass into the serving glass. Then, add anything else the book tells you to add, put the serving glass on the tray to the right of the ticket it goes to, and start fixing the next drink. Soon as you've made all the drinks on a ticket, ring the bell and I'll serve 'em up. Just remember, if the orders start coming thick and fast and the tickets start piling up, you're to make the drinks on the ticket closest to the bell first. Now, you'll be making no mistakes, I'm sure. But if you do, just toss the glass into the rubbish bin down there to the right and start over. Mind you, lass, you must do the mixing fast and proper. The quicker you mix, the more tips you'll be keeping. To work with you now. Another round completed. You do fine work, miss. You do fine work, miss. All done and dusted, are ya? Thank you, miss. Take what's in the tip jar. And the next time you help out, you can keep the tips then as well.
You make a mean crow's nest, girl. Well done. Now, I'm to tell you what happened to the Sassenach, am I?
I'm sorry, happened to the what?
The Sassenach. The Englishman. The one Kyler was supposed to be marrying. Well, what happened to him is this. The She took him. The good people whisked him straight off to their world, they did.
By the good people, you mean fairies?
You'll not be hearing me call him that. All of us have a name we prefer, and with them, the good people it is. So that's what I call him, and you'd be wise to do the same.
Just what are these good people going to do with him?
Whatever they please. He's in their world now, and he'll not be coming back. That's as much of the truth as we'll ever know. 'Tis not the first time the good people have seen fit to meddle in the affairs of Castle Malloy. Caused the explosion they did.
The one that destroyed half the castle?
Brendan, his wife, Caitlin, used to own this place, she did. Aye, and their little girl, Fiona. All three were lost to the world forever when the place blew. But the blame lay not with Malloy. It was the good people. They'd taken a shine to Fiona, is why. And they knew that little girls, no matter how much they're adored by wee folk or mortals, sooner or later, all little girls grow up and grow old. The good people couldn't bear to see this happen to their beloved Fiona, so they made full sure it never did.
Sounds to me like the good people are actually just the opposite.
They have their ways, and we have ours, is all. That's just the way of things. Got plans for you, they do.
The fairies? The good people? What makes you say that?
I meant to pocket your car keys for safekeeping on my way over here, but I couldn't find 'em.
You mean my keys weren't in the car?
Aye, that's exactly my meaning. Taken they were. The good people want you to be staying.
The name of this place. Just what exactly is a banshee?
A woman, one of the good people, as alive as you and me, with wild hair almost as long as the tattered grey robe billowing up around her whenever she appears. Sometimes she takes on the form of a hooded crow, but it's the sound she makes, her terrible wailing, that strikes fear in the human heart. Because when a mortal hears the wail of a banshee, it means someone is about to die.
I saw someone with long hair and a gray robe outside the castle tonight.
Did you know?
It ran across the road in front of me. That's why my car's in the ditch.
Not till I was 54 did I see a banshee. To see one at your age, on your very first night in Ireland. A special lass you are indeed.
There's no other explanation for what I saw?
There might be 24 explanations for what you saw, but none, save one, is the truth.
Sometimes I hear this strange kind of wailing sound when I'm in the castle. Have you ever heard it?
These ears don't work so well now. Even the pattering of rain is beginning to slip by 'em. But, the situation being what it is, by my reckon, a banshee, you heard.
You mean someone in the castle is going to die?
Aye.
Someone as in Matt?
How they know what they know, and why they do what they do, are mysteries far beyond mortal solution. But be assured, lass, someone at Castle Malloy is doomed.
Do you dislike all Englishmen as much as you dislike Matt Simmons? Or is he special somehow?
I've little use for any Sassenach, but I took a disliking to this one soon as I laid eyes on him. Arrogant he was, cocky, disrespectful, foolish, always touching things he shouldn't, going places he didn't belong. Worse than a stray dog, that one was.
What about Kyler?
Aye, Kyler. She's different. She belongs here. It's in her blood. It's the reason she does naught but read up in the library. She'll not be leaving Ireland, mark my words. And if she winds up marrying Mr. Foley, all the better.
So Kit, you like?
Aye. He may talk like a Yank and live like a Brit, but there's Irish in the lad. I saw it right off. Little wonder he's in love with the girl. They'll make a fine pair.
Whoa, wait a minute. Kit's not in love with Kyler.
Blind, are you now? Loves her, he does indeed. He's all but wearing a sign saying so. He came to the wedding early to make sure there'd never be a wedding. Only the good people saw to that for him. Ah, the luck of the Irish.
Guess I'll go now.
Be careful out there, lass.
would like a fortune.
How's it going?
Alan Payne told me he overheard you and Matt arguing the day before Matt disappeared. And pretty much right before you walked into that door.
What were you doing talking to Alan Payne?
I thought he might know something that could help us find Matt.
I told you, Matt bailed. He doesn't want to be found. Look, like I said, Alan Payne doesn't really know Matt or me that well, okay? The fact is, he misunderstood what he heard. Matt and I have been friends for more than 12 years. We were just fooling around.
Fooling around? You ended up with a black eye.
I told you that was an accident. I'm clumsy.
What were you two talking about?
I forget. That's how inconsequential it was. Hey, I just remembered. Carla wants me to do the seating chart for the wedding dinner. Like I said, I can't bring myself to tell her there's not going to be a wedding. Anyway, I need to get to work on it, so you're gonna have to excuse me. Of course, you could always give it a shot. You just have to figure out where each guest should sit by taking into account their needs and preferences. What do you say?
Sure, I can do that.
Excellent. Just fill it out and bring it back to me when you think you've got everyone sitting in the right place. 'Cause unless and until it gets done, afraid I'm gonna be pretty much incommunicado. How's the seating chart coming?
Could you take a look at it?
You bet. This looks great. Wow, you did it. I'm impressed.
So now we can talk.
Yeah, now we can talk. Oh, hey, actually, you might want to take a look at this first. I found it on the floor in Matt's room when I was looking for him.
What is it?
Frankly, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe it will to you. Take it. If anybody can figure out what Matt was doing with it, you can, I'm sure. Good luck.
You have a lead?
When I called Alan Payne, he said that on the day Matt disappeared, you and Matt had a pretty big argument.
I dare say Matt and I have argued about one thing or another every day since we met. That's just how we are together.
Can you remember what you were arguing about?
I haven't the foggiest idea. Apparently, you should ask Mr. Big Ears Payne.
I'll let you get back to your reading.
As soon as you find out anything, let me know.
It looks like a piece is missing.
What's going on?
If you weren't going to be the best man, how come you came out here so early?
I volunteered to help get everything set up, and Matt and Kyler took me up on it. I'm pretty good friends with Kyler, too. In fact, I'm the one who introduced her to Matt.
How long ago was that?
A little less than a year ago. They both claimed it was love at first sight, and it seemed like it really was, right up until a couple of days ago. You sure do ask a lot of questions. Wait a minute. Nancy Drew. Kyler told me about you. You're the girl who likes to play detective.
Well, it's just, you know, kind of a hobby. Although Kyler did say it'd be nice if I could find Matt.
Well, you're not gonna have any luck doing that. Old Matt is long gone.
Kyler says sometimes she hears Matt's voice, only it's very faint and muffled. Do you ever hear him?
No. Man, Kyler must be losing it or something, because I'm telling you, Matt is not here.
The caretaker seems to think you're the one who should be getting married here, not Matt.
Yeah, well, in case you haven't noticed, that guy's got several screws loose. I just happened to mention that 3 out of my 4 grandparents were born in Ireland, and now whenever he sees me, he gets this weird look in his eye.
But you don't think he had anything to do with Matt's disappearance?
No. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He and Matt did not get along. They were always at each other's throats, arguing about the stupidest things. Even those leprechaun gnome things out in the garden. Donal had a fit one day when he saw Matt messing with them. And when Matt announced he was going to stay in the haunted nursery, I thought the guy was going to burst a blood vessel, he turned so red. But Matt disappeared on his own, not because of anything Donal did. I mean, the old coot's not that crazy. Is he?
From the looks of that picture I found over there, it looks like you and Kyler used to be a lot more than friends.
Yeah, we dated for a while, until it finally became obvious that we were better as a couple of friends than as a couple. No biggie.
That discussion you had with Matt, come on, really, what was it about?
It was about Kyler. I was asking Matt whether he had truly thought through what being married to her was going to be like. The more questions I asked, the more nerves I struck, and the more uncomfortable and angry he became, until finally...
He gave you that shiner.
He stomped upstairs to the nursery. Next day, he disappeared. Obviously, the things I said got to him. So if I seem a little guilty to you, it's because I am guilty. It's my fault that Matt walked out on Kyler. Simple as that.
Have you ever been up in the tower?
Uh-uh. You saw the stairs, or what's left of them. There's no way to get up there.
I could have sworn I saw lights coming from it.
Perhaps it was the good people come a-calling on their good friend Donal. Or maybe it was just reflected moonlight or something. So if you're thinking Matt's up there, forget it. Ain't no way.
Time for me to scoot.
Drop by anytime.